Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. It has been several weeks, maybe even a month, since I've been able to record a video. Life has been hectic, and I can't talk either. Just been having a lot going on, haven't been able to get out here to do any videos. Today I'm going to be working on my truck again. I received some products in the mail today, and I know I'm going to butcher this. I believe it's Odro parts. I'm going to put their Instagram information right here on the screen. You can check them out, then I'll also put it in the description below. They sent me some rock lights that I'm going to put on my truck. I've been wanting to put some on there for the longest time, and I've just not been able to order any to put them on, and they reached out to me and wanted to know if I wanted to put a set of theirs on my truck. So I said sure, why not, give them a try and see how they are. Right, what we have, oh my gosh, what we have is their rock lights, and actually I'll pull their Instagram page up on my phone while we're unboxing these, and then you can see that too, because I follow them on Instagram now. And as I'm opening these up, we'll just look at them on there. Right here it is. They have quite a bit of stuff for Jeeps. They got a 20% off coupon code right there, if you can see that. And then there's their Instagram page there. They have several different lighting options. They have floor mats, they have headlights, they have light bars, they have all kinds of, as that light above us is in my screen. There we go. They have just a bunch of different stuff. Once again, there it is right there. It's, I believe, Odro Auto Parts is what it is. So let's see what we have inside this box. We have, this is a 4-piece rock light set. This is the control module. It does run off of a control module. Everything has, this is the wiring harness. Everything is a dry lock with a rubber O-ring, and then I'll also put some dielectric grease on all these too, just to help things out. What I would like to do is actually mount this in the engine bay, but since my truck is so much longer than the ordinary, I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish that. What this does, this runs off of an app on your phone. I don't know if I'm going to have time tonight, but I will put it on a toggle switch also. That way I can run it off of a toggle switch, and then it just has a direct connection to your battery. I believe I have an inline fuse over there extra that I can put on it. So it comes with your wiring harness. It comes with, I got the 4-piece set of rock lights, and then these lights are an aluminum housing. I've had them open before, and then they come with all of your hardware too. They come with this rubber bar clamp, or not a bar clamp, but it's a bar seat, so your light will sit in there, and then you can put them on a bar or mount them flat. I'm going to use these also, just because I don't like, one thing I don't like is how they have their wire so close to their mounting hole. The hardware they send is some socket heads with some nuts. Unfortunately, my truck is missing the inner fender well liners, and I've been wanting, I mean, I've had these lights for a while, but I've been wanting to pick up the inner fender well liners, but I just have not been able to find any. Everybody who has them is using them, or everybody who wants to sell a fender, you know, they're selling them with the selling the liners with the fenders. So I'm going to mount them right up in here and on the front side, and then that'll be underneath my fuse panel. And then on the passenger side, I'm going to do the same thing. It'll be underneath my air cleaner over there. On the back side here, going to come just enough outward of the fender to where this is inside the bed here. You can see this seam. This is going to be behind this panel right here. So all the screws and the wires will be hid and run down through here. So probably gonna have to find an alternative place to mount the control box, which is fine. It's weather tight, so all should be good. And then I'll use some heat shrink on the connections for the battery connection. So like I said, it's an aluminum housing and then a 3-piece chip per se LED, and then it's sealed in the backside here with a poly resin after they put them together. But like I said, the only thing I don't like is how close your wire is to your mounting hole. What I actually wanted to use to mount these is called a weld nut, and what this is you drill a hole in your panel. That's right around probably 1/4 of an inch, and as you tighten that up, it crushes that, and then it seals your hole, plus holds it in place. But since it's so close to the mounting, I'm not able to use the weld nut. And then obviously the socket heads they sent me are metric, and I could not find any metric weld nuts. So those are some I had for some other mounting stuff I was doing. So I got those out. Was going to try and use those, but I'm not going to be able to. So what I'm actually going to use is some stainless steel self-tapping 1" by 10 or 10 by 1 inch. So that's what I'm going to use to mount these. That should leave plenty of length. The 1 inch even going through the rubber mount. Hopefully. Yeah, that'll be enough. Once that crushes down, I may take a knife. Since this is made for round bar, just take a knife and cut them edges off. It's not going to hurt anything. Another thing I thought was kind of odd too is you have to push this through this little hole, and I mean it stretches, but not a whole lot to be able to get that through there. So I don't know if that's going to be accomplishable either. So I mean, just some things that I don't know. It's a nice product, but some things I've found fault in thus far, like their bar mounts. To be able to relocate your wire to the center and coming out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So, and then they have these little anti-crush things here too that you put in there, so for your bar mounts themselves. So, but yeah, with the bar mount, I don't think the 1 inch is going to be quite long enough. It should, but it'll be close. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the wire and just see how much footage we actually have. Pretty easy installation, really. It's just screwing the lights in place and then running your wires to your 4 locations. So this is going to be your hookup from your battery. So this will go here. This is a 4-pin, and that's a 4-pin, and it does have a notch in it, so you can only plug it in one way. And like I said, when I put these together for good, I'll put some dielectric grease on there before I screw everything together. And then when you screw that tight, it crushes that rubber O-ring and also seals it. So we don't have very much wire, so I'm going to have to find kind of a centrally located position for this box on the frame someplace, and then just run my wire up into my engine compartment to hook these up, because I'm going to have to go to all 4 corners from someplace underneath the frame. So I'm going to have to kind of spread the wires out, see how long they are, and go from there. I'm going to go out here actually. So if we mount someplace underneath the cab right here in the center, someplace, we should be able to go to all 4 locations, because they should have plenty of wire. If you look at that there, I'm there. Pull that tight there and come down on this end and pull this tight here. I almost wish they had all the wire on the rock lights themselves instead of having just a short pigtail on the rock light and then this wiring harness here. I think it'd be a lot better insulation if they would have it hooked to be able to hook up that way. So I don't quite know. So yeah, I'm going to be, like I said, able to screw it in place up underneath here. That's my fuse panel there, and there's plenty of room underneath there, so the screw won't come up and hit anything if I mount the rock light right there. I'll put it right in the center. Right there's my shock tower, so I'll put it right around in here someplace to keep everything centered. And then the same thing in the back. I'll kind of center off of the axle to keep it centered within the wheel well, and I'll put it right up in here someplace. But I just need to find, like I said, I'll be able to mount it, that box someplace, like maybe to one of the bed rails or something like that, and then just run my wiring up to it. Grab the creeper here. I could actually even screw it, mount it to, you know, my, oh yeah, that right there, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, unit bearing, not the unit bearing, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like to the bottom, the frame rail right here, or not the frame, one of the bed rails here, and then just go accordingly. That should give me plenty of length. Any place where it's going to be out of the way. Alright, I have one of them mounted. You can see what I've done there with this round bar mount is I've just taken, knifed that rubber off and made it flat. Actually, there's a remnants down there in a box, but just it's kind of crude, but I just have my straight blade right there. All my other knives are downstairs, and I really didn't feel like going down and getting them. So that's what I've done. And then I do have one started out here on the wheel well. You can see how I have it mounted up there like that. And then actually I have a plug right here. I'm gonna knock this plug out. And these round bar mounts, they have 3 different wire positions you can come out of. You can come out of the side, you can come out of this end, and you can come out of the center. I've elected to come out of this side right here and then just take my wire and go in to this plug right here. Actually, I can probably just drill a small hole in this plug and then run my wire through there, and then my wire will be protected from the sharp edges of the steel then too. So we'll take this one around and put it on the passenger side rear and be done with that. When you're hooking these up, if you look, they have an arrow on them. Hopefully you can see that right there. There's an arrow there, and then there's an arrow on your light itself. And what you'll do is you'll line the arrows up. Move the cap out of the way. I don't have any dielectric grease on here yet, so I'm not gonna. There's your rubber O-ring that's on there. You get your arrows lined up because they only can go in there one direction. They have a groove right here, and this is your female end, and then they've got a male groove inside the socket right here on this female end of this male end. There you go. Was that confusing enough for you? So anyway, you just line your arrows up, push them together, and then you just take your cap and screw it on there. Now that probably would be sufficient enough, but I like to go just a little bit above and beyond, so that's why I'll put just a little bit of dielectric grease on the inside of that before I actually put these together for good. But that's the connection right there that is supplied by them. So I mean, it's a pretty good connection. I mean, don't get me wrong, I just like to go just a little bit above and beyond, but that's how that goes together there. So I do have both sides done on the rear. I gotta take this all apart and tuck my wires up, so I'm not completely done, but I do have the lights mounted up in there. So I'm gonna move to the front and then start running my wiring. And like I said, I'm using my drill and then just a self-tapping screw is what I'm using to mount these, because I don't have access to mount them the way I wanted to. Like I said, I wanted to be able to use the well nuts, but I can't, so I'm using a stainless steel self-tapping screw. Okay, so I have everything installed. I ran into one snag. I don't have any 2-pair wire left. I used it all up, so I have them hooked just inside of the truck there to the fuse panel, and I still have to run my wires and route those, so I didn't have enough 2-pair wire that is shielded to be able to run up to the engine compartment and hook to the battery, or to run in. What I think I might do is actually hook them into my headlight switch. That way they come on with the headlights, and at night be kind of a cool look coming down the road. But I do have them on. I don't have them paired. They are Bluetooth operated. So right now everything is just on basically the standard function, and like I said, I am going to hook them up into my headlight switch. So and you see I have the wires just kind of hanging there. I need to go in the morning and get some 2-pair wire and finish the install, which is not a big deal. Pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do is just I'll hook to the 2 pigtails that is coming out of the control box that they supply, and then I'll hook that into a power supply and a ground. The power supply, like I said, is probably going to be my headlight switch or a headlight accessory someplace in there. That way they come on when I'm running my headlights at night, and just kind of, you know, you have that glow. It's nice that I'm finishing up right around a dark time. And then I'll put in some video here after a bit too. I like at the end, closing out the video of everything it does. Let's see if we can get this paired. The directions in here says, I'll probably be too far away. Basically what you'll do is you'll open up your Bluetooth settings, and it'll recognize it right away, and then you'll just go through and connect to it. There's all your controls. So let's go out here with my phone. There is QR codes on the control box themselves too, so open up my settings, go to Bluetooth, and hopefully it will find it. Right there it is. We'll tap on that. Pair unsuccessful. Make sure set inside the truck there. Alright, so after several attempts, I was having some trouble, so I shut the computer. I shut the camera off. I was having some trouble connecting to the Bluetooth on the control box, so I unhooked the power switch, or I unhooked the power and hooked it back up a couple of times, and it did recognize it, and it was able to hook up. What I don't like so far, the directions, I don't like the directions. It doesn't really give you much to go by. You know, if you're going to purchase these, you're kind of gonna have to try and figure things out on your own as far as directions. It doesn't tell you to, you know, scan the QR code. You just gotta have to know. But you know, and I had to pick out a couple of different QR code apps on my phone to be able to scan, to get that to scan. It does have a Google and an Android iOS QR code. So I did get everything on my phone. Open up the app. Let's see, turn on all, turn off all. We should be connected. That's one thing, you're gonna have to be in the truck to connect. Connection unsuccessful. I shouldn't have walked away from the truck. I lost my connection. I'll go back over here where I was. I was over here sitting in my chair trying to figure things out, and it took right off. Connected. You know, this chair right here, it's magical, I guess. So now we'll go back to the app, and you must have to scan the QR code again. I don't know. See, I don't like the directions. Right now we have nothing. It did say enter password. Hold on just a second. We'll go back over here to my chair again. There we go. You can kind of see. You go here and shut the garage lights off. There, just turn the lights off. I don't know. They're not too bad, but kind of hard to run, really. There's blue. That's just an all blue light right there. You probably would rock those. But it's supposed to do, I don't know, it's supposed to do all kinds of stuff. There's just white lights to go down the road. And this is how you change your colors. You can turn them off, turn them on. That's just white, and then there's all the colored. Once you figure out how to do everything, I'm pretty sure it's pretty cool. But I would probably just run just a solid color, unless you're going to a show or something like that. But since my truck's blue, I'll probably leave them set on blue and then hook them into my headlights and go from there. And then just turn them off. So, alright, kind of a hit and miss video. I don't know. Give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. They're just, I mean, they're not a bad light. They're kind of an okay light. I guess if I was going to run a rock light, I probably would just run just a single color on off. Wire them all in together with a relay or something of that sort, and then on a switch or in with my my headlamp switch. Yeah, they're not too bad. I like them. Would I buy them? I don't know. So, but for the quality that they're made, they are made very, very nice. They are, an all aluminum housing, like I said. They are a completely sealed unit. So, yeah, I would probably purchase them if I could get them just in single colors and then not have to run a control box or nothing like that. So, anyway. You like it, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you have not already done so, hit that subscribe. I do have more videos coming. I just have to have the time to do them. So, guys, once again, I appreciate you watching clear to the end, and thank you very much. Once again, their information will be right here on the screen for their Instagram, and put a link in the description for their Instagram also. And you can go and see everything that they have. I believe they have an Amazon store also. From what I was finding, you just type in that Odro auto parts, and they had a bunch of stuff on Amazon for sale too. So, all right, before I end out this video, I did find some other settings. I'm gonna go back and say I do like them now. What I did was I found a menu setting within there and was able to change some things around. I can play, the music. I can do different things, and settings, user guide, and right here is a user guide. Click to view instructions. So right there is everything that tells you what's on there. So we'll go back. We'll do scene settings. We'll go over here and shut the lights off again. So now I've got it just roving on different settings. There's colorful. And then you can change the speed on them. If it wasn't for the franchise, or John, what do you call it on the music? What? You can't play the music on there. What? If it wasn't for the music, I would do some different. I can play music on there too. You can just pull song copyright. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. You can pull music from your iTunes list. Hit your plus button and then just go to songs, and you can scroll through. I don't have any of my YouTube stuff on my phone here, so I'm not able to pull up any of that and play it on there so you can see how it goes. But I mean, it's pretty much like this. If you're playing the music, you know, it's going to do basically like that, but just dance and go to the music. So I do like the lights. Once I found the settings, it was a little hard in the beginning to get everything hooked up, but now everything's connected and going pretty good. Go to scenes. You can do there's party. There's all kinds of different things you can do here. I just did that one because, you know, you can speed it up and do different things, man. One thing I would like for one of you guys to do, count throughout my video and tell me how many times I say so. So anyway, I just did it again. Now I'm going to end out the video. Thank you very much. I appreciate you very much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we will talk to you later on.